Hello, everybody. Just to make sure that you guys can hear me clearly and the music isn't too loud or too, like, I'd say small. So, yesterday we did a live stream. So, if you were in the last live stream, welcome back. And also, thank you so much for stopping by again today. Today we're going to be still continuing the drawing from yesterday. This is my manga slash comic, if you would say. You can read this on Webtoons, which is down in the link description below. In the description below, there's a link to Webtoons. Okay. Yeah, try to say that 10 times really fast. It can definitely really mess you up. Anyway, basically what I'm trying to say is you can read this on Webtoons. And the link is in the description below. There we go. So yeah, today we're going to be finishing this drawing or this page in general, and then you guys can go check it out because this takes quite a lot of time. I worked on this then again back in 2021, so I had this idea of story making and also creating somewhat of a manga comic like type of book, I'd say. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm still continuing that. I discontinued it for quite a bit because I think it was somewhat draining to some point because I was actually taking it seriously. But when I learned about the efforts or like just how long a manga artist would spend their time, I really thought I should take a step back and to see what I actually really enjoy doing as my career. But yeah, today we're going to be drawing Aoi's hair. Well, right now I'm doing her hair. Like I'm doing her hair right now. I don't know. I really like to add these details to make it look like it has a texture of like a slimes because it's kind of like it catches the light and then reflects it a little bit. So that's what I'm trying to get at here with these interesting round shapes with a dot. Hello. Doing fine, doing fine. Hope you guys are doing okay as well. Today is definitely humid for me where I am at. It is definitely not a place for humans, I'd say sometimes. It's not like the most humid or like the temperature's like super hot, but it is definitely very humid. And I'm really scared to turn on the fan because my microphone would not necessarily catch the sounds of, the white noise. It kind of does sound like white noise, but I don't think like white noise on and off is the most relaxing thing. So I'm currently kind of heating in a steam oven, if that is something people would say. But yeah, it's pretty humid. I can't wait for winter. I really like winter. Where I'm at, winter is not the coldest, but it does get cold, but it's not like freezing, if that makes sense. And I would rather be freezing than be melting in the sun or under the sun. Imagine being in the sun, you'd just be obliterated into tiny little pieces. Okay. So I like to do this method. I don't know if you guys noticed yesterday. I like to basically kind of pick the shapes and then color fill them. It's just much easier. But in small spaces, like small specks, it's like much harder. I'm not sure if you guys do this in your own digital art pieces. I mean, of course, traditional art pieces, you can't really fill in anything without it splashing everywhere, but you know. Is her hair water? Okay, so her hair is actually slime. Like blue slime. I know. When I was back then in 2021, when I was 13, I was thinking about a really cool concept. I wanted a character to really have a special characteristic, like charm or like something that they're known for. But then a few years after, I realized that there was another anime that actually had a slime character. So I guess I was trying to be original, but I didn't really succeed. But then again, nowadays, I feel like striving for originality is going to just drain you so much more because this world, a lot of ideas are already taken. Like, the things that you think that is original is most likely thought of and made out into a story or anything physical, or just, a product, basically, or just on the show. Anyway, you get the point. So I still think that I want her hair to be slime. I still want her to have this characteristic charm about her where she is known for this. So I didn't scratch the idea. It's too late to scratch the idea. I already started drawing the pages when I found out about that. But yeah, her hair is slime. Her hair is made of slime. And the manga, I'm gonna give you guys like a little bit spoilers. In the manga, she basically falls into this toxic waste. And this toxic waste basically melts her into another type of chemical form. But she still has her human form, of course, but she is not fully human. She's quite dead. Quite not so human, if that makes sense. So that is why her hair is slime. She fell around in the pool rooms, the liminal space name, pool rooms, and that is where the toxic waste was. I know it's really hard to see her skin tone since she's very pale, but it is there. It is because the background is white. That is why it's not so visible. Oh, there we go. I'm like clicking on the tablet and it's just not picking up the space for me to fill in. But yeah. Lately I've been really trying to discover my art styles because, it's a thing to discover like skills and actually, practice and then get to somewhere. And then it's another thing to find joy and know what you like to draw and what kind of style you like to draw, and to make that style represent you is a whole nother journey. So I feel like, yeah, I've been just really observing other artists online on YouTube to see what they would usually do, and I do think like truly it's quite a long journey for many. Okay. Yeah. Yuki's Endless Void, we are at chapter 2, and I remember making 58 to 60 pages, 50 to 60 pages. And I remember in a year I was like really rushing. I'd say, I wouldn't say rushing as in like story making wise, but more of I was trying to produce as many pages because I was trying to post weekly on Webtoons. and I was still very young. I still didn't really understand a lot, and the thing is, after this, I still have to input the text and whatnot, so it does take quite a lot of work. Alright, I'm just trying to make sure everything's right. So I have like the pages pulled up here on the website from Webtoons, and just want to make sure everything is colored in right. Now, if you notice, I think in the last episode, I did mess some things up. I messed up Always I. Always I is actually meant to have a button on the side, and I forgot to do that. So she suddenly has another pair of eyes, like another pair of normal eye. So hopefully no one noticed, but I think they do. They would. It's a pretty big mistake. Alright. Yeah, then again, this part here, I think I'm just going to color in manually. I don't know if people experience this, but whenever I finish like a really good show, I know this is like totally off topic, but whenever people finish like a very good show, or like whenever I finish a very good show, I always would be a little bit sad that it ended, because it was a really good show. And it feels like the character, like the movie itself, is just gonna be just a part of a memory of mine, I suppose. And that just kind of makes me sad. But I guess that's what makes it special, because it's really meaningful. If something lasts forever, I don't think it would be as meaningful. Very interesting. What I learned these days is, instead of trying to be a printer where you kind of want to capture everything exactly in the most perfect way, capture it how you would capture it, like as an artist wise kind of view, instead of trying to be a printer and just copy everything just very perfectly, is what I'm trying to say. But capture what you see in your view, in an artist view type of view, like in you as an artist. And I think that really takes practice a lot. Because then again, some people may not like how you view the world, or not like much. They don't really understand, basically. Some people may not understand, especially if you're trying to use a artist type of view to capture it on the paper or anything like that. But I think that's totally fine. That's what makes each artist really special, because they have their own way. I went to the museum this year, and I was really grateful, because it showcased a lot of old art pieces, and it gave me a lot of inspiration. It was like oil paintings and whatnot. They had these like sketches and also oil paintings, and then there's like landscape oil paintings, and those are really nice. Those are really refreshing. But my favorite part was how they captured a scenery, like an illustration, and the people in the illustration, and how they're interacting with each other, and how the nature is actually complementing that interaction, if that makes sense. I'm thinking of a certain drawing, but of how I'm explaining it, I'm not sure if you guys are seeing what I'm saying, but it's really good. I really want to recall what the painting is called. The painting, I'll describe it. The painting has two young lovers on a swing, and they are in this like woods like scenery, and then and the weather is spring. It's spring. The season is spring, basically. Not the weather, the season is spring. The weather is sunny, slightly sunny, and it seemed like it had wind because of the fabric. But anyway, I was diving very much deep into the details of that painting. Right. There's green here. Yeah, it should be this green, most likely. Okay, I know what to do. Okay. One thing I would recommend if you do start streaming, or something that I learned while streaming, is hide everything that has somewhat of like a view count, because when you're drawing, right, at first it's about like you having fun and you sharing your art, but then it starts to kind of let you be more how do you say it, be more distracting. It will be more distracting because it make you keep looking to the chart and seeing if there is anyone watching. And it's just not, it's just gonna take the fun out of drawing. Okay. But yeah, today we're gonna be finishing up this page, and then I'm gonna be basically editing the page afterwards. Okay. I can color in the green. I do still think having an underlayer of like green is good, because as you can see there's like a little bit white spots, or like a white outline, which is really odd, but I guess I get it. But yeah, if you're still here, definitely leave a like and support. I'd really appreciate it. Because to me, I think momentum is quite important, and I've been trying to do that lately, even though I did go off streak of streaming and kind of take a break from social media. But yeah, I'm trying to maintain a momentum, and I'd really appreciate it if you would support the platform or support this channel on the platform. This is like a random story, but I remember back then when I was running, basically, in the school, we would have races. Like, not like races, like, what I mean by that is like running races. And that day it was really hot and really heated. The weather was super heated, hot, and the girl in front of me just fainted while I was running. That was so scary to me. And I didn't know what to do. I really wanted to help them, but I think we just had to keep running. And I felt kind of bad. I felt like I should have done something. But then again, I didn't want to be letting my class down, I'd say. So I kept going. But she did get help. She did get help. The teachers rushed to her. And that was like really of a close counter because she was like right in front of me. And then she just fell on the ground. What would people usually do in that case? I don't know. Alright. And then we're going to do her clothes. One moment. Okay. One moment. Okay. That's odd. Okay. Just memorizing what the patterns is like. The thing about manga and comic making basically is you really want to get every page right. Like you have to do everything over and over and over again, which is a little bit challenging. I don't know why I chose green as the color of their dresses. there. Okay. Here we go. I don't think running around with a dress is the most convenient either. It's definitely feels like you can trip or something. So maybe in between the story, I would change that. Then again, I still don't necessarily like line art at all. Especially in my illustrations, I don't do line art. But when it comes to comics and manga, I think it really does help. Just help structure everything. And it makes things more clear, but I still am not the most fond of it. But yeah. Someone said that my art style leans into more of a fantasy-wise genre. And I guess I could kind of see that because I've seen like a fantasy animation video of a drawing before, and it did seem somewhat of like that kind of vibe. Alright, just want to make sure. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. Alright. Also, if you guys are wondering, the music is not copyrighted. I was on the hunt for royalty-free music. Because no way. Ain't no way. I'm not trying to get copyright striked. At all. That is so scary to me. Alright. Okay. Then we have some other details, and then we're pretty much done. And then we have the background. Yes, very much. That's very much important. The background. Okay. As you can see, I didn't really add any specific sceneries behind them since it's a quite of a tiny space. So I didn't really add much of a scenery behind them. But yeah, I do plan on giving them more motions and like more interactions instead of just standing there and talking midway every single time in a new space. So I do want to make them more active and have different actions. Okay, we're gonna make it like this color. I've been experimenting, or not really experimenting, but understanding more about like game development. I think I'm also pretty interested in that game development. I really like games like Little Nightmares, Poppy Playtime, and other stuff like that. And recently I'm trying to download Unreal Engine, which is pretty popular. I have not tried it out yet. Thank you. Is like your OC furry? Or like, oh yeah, I do draw people, if that's what you're asking. Yeah, I do like the atmosphere of the background. Okay. Now we have this one. Now I kind of want to do like a combination for this one. This one I kind of want to have like a shift. Here, let me tell you what I'm trying to say. So basically, it's like this. Oh, no, not like that. That's too much. It's like well, okay. We can start off with something like that. And then this is going to be dark purple. Let's color pick this one. And then this is going to be starting to become blue-ish type of color. And this is going to be absolutely light bluish color. Okay. There we go. Okay. Do that. Alright, and then one over here. It's really tricky. The background is purple, so it's a little bit harder to see. But don't worry. I just realized I didn't draw the bubbles on always here. Hair here. Okay. But yeah, my experience with drawing this manga is after so much time spent on drawing these pages and coloring in. The thing is, I used to make videos. I started a YouTube channel and I started posting a lot on there, but I don't think it was the most entertaining. I'm not gonna lie, the videos were edited poorly, and I was young and I didn't understand how to maintain an algorithm or how to make the videos more, just entertaining, I'd say, or just fun. I didn't understand the art of editing. I wouldn't say I'm still the the best at editing, but I did improve. And I still do want to improve. Okay, here we go. There we go. That's perfect. But yeah, um, that channel, I didn't continue it because then again, it took so much time. I had to do everything by myself. That is very not normal for someone who just starting out, was just starting out their YouTube channel. And also a project in general. Oh, that looks a little bit odd. Okay, what else here? All right, we are pretty much done with this one. Probably add more like shading over here, but yeah, we're pretty much done with this one today. Okay, let me add shading. It's a little bit tricky because I should have colored the skin like manually so I don't have to do everything in sort of over layer. But yeah, I've been trying to download Unreal Engine, and that is a big software. It takes a lot of space. Like, I tried like 3 or 4 times, and it's just not downloading. Don't have enough space. Also, then again, I was talking about doing a tutorial for how I do my PNG tuber, and then live streaming with it, my PNG tuber. So if you guys are interested, definitely comment down below if you're interested in the tutorial. Oh, and talking about, commenting and stuff. If you guys go to the community post, you'd find posts about like time zones and whatnot. Basically, I give you vast amounts of choices to pick the time zone that you are in. So I can basically plan ahead on which time is the most suitable for most of you. Of course, I can't for everyone. If everyone is just like, I know most people are everywhere at once, but just trying to grasp where most of you guys are and what time zone you're from. Okay, it looks a little bit odd. Looks like she's has a bunny nose or something. Okay. I forgot I can't blend. My bad. Alright. Okay, yeah, this face is definitely really odd without the shading. I should add more detail to the shading over here. I don't know, I don't want to add too much detail. Okay, a little bit over here. Maybe like under the nose, I don't know. Over here. Over here. Over here. Alright. Can you guys even hear the music? Because sometimes I look back on my live streams and I'm just like, the music, I can barely hear it. I can barely hear anything. Alright. There is that page. Okay. Shade under here. Alright. Man, I really should have colored the skin color under manually, because now this is just a little bit tricky. Much more tricky. Okay. I suppose that's good enough, but I just wanna... There we go. Okay. I think that could work. Alright. But yeah, you guys, we are pretty much finished for today. I know today may not take as long as yesterday. The stream was pretty long yesterday because we had to do everything over again. Or for me at least, because it didn't save. That is a pain of an artist. Sometimes if you just don't save an art piece, it's gone. So I had to do it all over again. I had to do the line art, and that's why it took so long. It's because the line art, and I did a little bit of coloring, but today all you had to do was coloring, and it was a smooth sail. So it was pretty smooth. And yeah, we are pretty much done. I might add the shading in my own time for Leah here. Then again, if you would like to read the webtoons down below in the description, you would find a link to my webtoons and you can read it. So if you see like the art style changing and whatnot, it's because it's made in 2021 and I was 13 back then and I was still on my way to improve, and I'm still on my way to improve. Like, I'm still trying to improve my own art style. So then again, thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you next time. I usually stream on Saturdays and Sundays, but if you're interested in my streams that suddenly pop up on your For You page, or suddenly pop up in your notification bell, definitely stop by and join in and say hi. And I'll see you next time. Bye.